Coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area. It's time for Zig in the Zone with Ralph Zig Tycho.
Coming to you live from Alameda, California. Keep it going for Ralph Zig Tycho.
Hey, thank you, Paulie B. I am back, and that's a miracle in itself. But one of the reasons I'm back today is we have a very special returning guest, someone who makes Paulie and I happy every time she's here. And that's the name of the game. Melanie Mims Montgomery. How are you?
Good morning, Ralph and Paul. I'm a little sleepy, dragging a little bit, but we're here. And like you said, every day is a miracle. Woke up, yay! Let's just celebrate that moment.
Yeah, for a moment, and then life
Yeah,
steps
and
in.
I'll say this to you, Ralphie. You're more consistent and more reliable than modern technology. So there's that for you.
Wow, nice. Um, it Modern technology sets the bar very low.
I was like, I don't know if that's a compliment
Yeah,
or.
no, you are correct. It does set the bar very low, especially this morning, folks. So
Right.
this is our third attempt to get this show off the road, but it's good to see you, Melody. How are you been, darling?
No, I'm hanging in there. Like I'm trying to just keep thriving. And the older we get, the more focus we get on some weird things. And I'm just trying to focus on thriving, having a good time, enjoying my life.
Do you have any
I,
life hacks for us out there today? Anything you want to share with Ralph and I and whoever else might be watching?
Everything is so every life hack is seems so quaint and so already said. But I think my favorite, and it's probably the most true, is don't sweat the small stuff. Everything is small stuff.
right.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
good
I
one.
think you're right. I think you're right. Um, those things seem to kind of just disappear, and when we think about certain things like that are really important to us, like family and friends and stuff like that. So, yeah, don't sweat the small stuff.
Or as I used to do with my kids, choose your battles. 'Cause
Right.
that was one of my things about raising my children is you got teenagers, if you battle with them every time, and you got two of them, if you battle with them every time you see something that you don't exactly like or think they should do different, you're going to be battling all the time. So choose your battles.
Good
Right, and
one.
I think that's Congress's methodology right now too. They're choosing their
Shoot.
ballot because they're
I
choosing
don't
their
think they're
ballots
choosing anything.
at all, huh? Nothing at all because they're closed.
You know what pisses me off this week is Trump's battle, self-imposed battle with Venezuela. Because for him to declare war on Venezuela by an act of war supposedly needs Congress to comply with them. So have we been taken over in a dictatorship?
I feel like yes. I feel like yes. He's broken so many constitutional laws, so many laws in government, so many um just not even laws, just like
More,
normalcy. Like
yeah,
it's ridiculous, and so yeah, it's very scary. What's scariest to me is not that somebody would do it, but that he has all these sycophants following him, and nobody's fighting back for our country within the GOP, within the GOP, because they're the majority. They have to move a thing. Mm, mm, mm. Frustrating that they've just all fallen down and gotten in line and put their head down and waiting to be knighted by the Cittadini.
Is it all a big cover up for Epstein?
Of course it
Only
is. Everything that we don't get between now and whenever they come out is to take your mind off of it. It's a distraction. And the fact that they want to throw, you know, other Democrats in the mix and say this guy was there, this guy was there, this president, that old president, blah blah. We don't really care. Like not like we don't care, but anybody who was involved needs to pay the price for that. We don't care whether they're Republican, Democrat, nonpartisan at all. If they had to do anything to do with that Epstein mess, they need to pay the price for it. I don't care if it's Bill Clinton. He needs to pay just the same way as everybody else. And they seem to think that if they keep saying, well, there's Democrats on there, there's Democrats, there's your favorite people on there, that's going to make us change our mind. No, we
right.
don't
Good.
care. We
Good.
want to
At least
see
we
the
know.
files. We want to see the files.
Right.
We want to see the files. I
Uh,
think their greatest fear is that once you show the files, how many of our political party are elected officials
right. That's why at one
will be
time or
left.
another, and I vacillate, at one time or another, I believed, and I still do on some level, that they will never be released. But the autocratic way, eh, Pam Bondi, and I mean, it's crazy. It really is fucking nuts.
At this point, by the way, that so many of the official files have been not kept official in secret, like Mar-Lago toilets and stuff. How do we know that that the list that they give us, if they ever give us one, hasn't been whitewashed? You
Oh,
know,
at this
you know,
point, the the
they've had it for so long. They've been looking at it for so long. They know everybody who's on it. How do we know that they're not they're not back there mad ass taking off names like his and whoever else is on the
well,
list?
we've got to trust his estate. That's and ultimately we have to trust the courts. And what scares me a lot is the Supreme Court is so biased and idiotic that what are they? They took an oath. What they took constitutional law in college and in law school. What is wrong?
They are so far up his butt. Like he picked them on purpose because he knew that they would bow down to him. He handpicked so many of these the Supreme Court is at this point, in my opinion, it's just a joke. It's just another handful of people, excluding, a couple that are on there, but a handful of people that are willing to bow to him. They've literally said there's nothing that he can be charged for as long as he's president. There's no rules he can't break. We can't charge him for anything. Like, because he's president. This is ridiculous. That's why we have all these checks and balances set up so that no one man should have that power.
No, this man needs euthanasia.
The people that support him, like, it's easy for me to see one person trying to rule a thing because that's how people are. They want control, and it's really easy for me to see that. What's not easy for me to see is the millions of people still following it that are believing the whole fake news and that, that whole thing.
You would think that Trump, would have already debunked Fox News in the way he talks. So yeah, we're pretty much screwed. I want I prefer sometimes to dilute my thoughts, um, become less delusional,
Hmm.
and think there's a way out. So I'm going to ask Paulie first, because I haven't heard from him in a while, um, to be creative. And if there's anything, Paulie, what do you think is our way out?
Well, we seem to talk about this every week, and just to let you know, I think your mic's wonking again. Because every time Melody or I are talking, it's really got a lot of noise. So if you get a chance, try to unplug it and plug it back in and see if that helps. Um, there we go.
Yeah,
See, it seems to work when I do that. Oh, leave it like that, Zig, if you can hear us. Leave it like that.
I plugged it in again.
Perfect. Leave it just like that because now we don't have the noise that I was hearing before. Right on. So every week we talk about this, right? What's the silver bullet? What is the silver bullet? There is no silver bullet. There's no wooden stake through the heart. Um, there's no um, there's no Ozempic to make this man thin. Um, so I guess every week it's a different answer for me. And I think this week it kind of echoes maybe last week's, which was we all got to do our part. We all can't just stand still. We all have a place in this country. We all need to do our part. If you were one of the 7 million that went and marched at No King's Day, that's doing your part. If you're a podcaster asking questions as you do, Zig, you're doing your part. Um, if you're going to rallies, if you're a blogger, if you're active in your community or your church, you're doing your part. Um, but what's not doing your part is, it's he's the bully on the school ground, right? He's if you say something, right? It wasn't that the terrorist thing.
Right.
That's what it is. You got to call it for what it is when you see it in real time. Uh, there's so many times where, like, even Speaker Mike Johnson, right? Or yeah, Mike Johnson. Uh, he's he's like non-informed. Every time I see him in front of cameras, he's like, "Well, I don't know about that. That just came across my desk. I'll have to look into it." And it's about things that he's had on his desk for days at a time. And I don't know about him, but he's got plenty of time off right now and getting paid. He's
All of
getting
them,
paid.
all of
Yeah,
them are
all those
getting.
guys are getting paid. They're off work. Um, do something for your country.
I
And
can't
and
wait to see who's involved from his cabinet and bankers and this and that. It's the
It's gonna
scandal of our lifetime.
it'll be a
right.
giant crash. So much bigger. Like I thought when we were growing up, we thought Watergate was gonna be the scandal of our lifetime.
Right,
If anybody remembers Watergate.
And shit,
right.
Watergate was a cakewalk.
Compared to what we're going through right now, so much so.
Yeah,
Right.
I
I'm
think
I'm going through social whiplash. I should have a neck tourniquet on because of the news cycle is going by so quick. I'm constantly ratcheting my head, going, "What the hell? What the hell?" And I'm not saying "what the hell." I'm usually saying "What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?"
here's mine at least 5 times a day. What the actual fuck?
Yeah.
What the
Or
actual
I will say, what the fuck? Over?
Jeez. I mean,
um,
so you think so? There's I watched this show on CNN. It's called not. Or wait, I'm sorry. Have I got news for you? And Have I Got News for You is one of the funniest news talk shows and game shows, if you will, you'll ever see. But every week they basically look at the news and they recant everything that's happening, and every week these comedians have to go, fuck, look at the shit we get dealt every week. Is this real, or is this like a comic book? And it is. It's like a
Hey,
fable. It's like bullshit. You can't believe. I mean, I've said this many times before too. He couldn't do a better job at destroying this country if he tried to do that.
He is
right.
trying to do that.
It
Let's
seems
make
like he's
no
really
mistakes.
intentionally doing it, right?
No
He's
mistakes. This is
intentionally.
on purpose. This is on purpose, and he's surrounded by people that are on This is purposeful. This is a purposeful takeover of the United States of America's government. Make no mistake about what he's trying to do, and he's not doing it on accident. This is purposeful. This is a man that wants nothing but power. And we knew that way back in the day. He wants nothing but power. He cares not what's holding it up, as we know, because of all of the businesses that have bankrupted and um, the 501(c)s that have been found to be fraud. He cares nothing about what holds it
He's
up,
he's the
only the
biggest
frosting
grifter.
on the top. So
He's the
I think our way, I mean, our country has always been this.
right,
Let's be real about that. Our country has
right,
always been this. Our country was never built for all the people. It was only made for certain people.
right.
As we know, many of us did not have those freedoms for 200 years in our country. So our country was never built or made to be what it says it is on paper. We the people.
Founded by imperialists and slave owners.
Um,
What the fuck do we expect
and
when you
so
think about it?
yes, so what do we expect at this point? Because right now, to me, it's not like this is something new. This is just, now everybody's brazen. There's so much brazenness and openness about people's racism, about their homophobia, about all their phobias, about their, yeah, all their little phobias. And they have no guards to make them not say anything, because their Chitolini in charge says whatever he wants and does whatever he wants and treats people however he wants. So they he's the he's the map for them to act how this country really is in its
Right.
base bone. And our way out is, I don't know. But I know that the people that keep voting for these Republicans, that keep supporting him, they, why do we keep voting? Why is Mitch in there? Why is Mitch in there? Mitch, take a nap. You've been in there too long. So, but people keep voting for him, and they know that he's gonna support the asshole in charge. And so I'm not sure what the rest of us are expecting, because there's a lot of people that got to do something different. Um,
Well, and it's not an age thing if we think about it. Look at Johnson. So Johnson's a young guy. He's just getting into Congress over the last few years, and it's the wrong people in the wrong place doing the wrong things.
I agree with that. But I also believe that there's a good old boys club and they're holding
Oh
it up.
yeah, there is definitely a good old boys club.
Um,
Absolutely.
and all 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 the women back there are still holding up that process. Okay, they're still being the base for that. Like, mm,
What
they're
happened?
voting and they're foot shooting. I call it foot shooting, when your vote distinctly will act against your own best interests, as any group, as a female, as a black person, as whatever it is. When your vote is going to, as a brown person, if your vote directly acts against your own best interest, you're foot shooting. And it's been my experience that people do that in an effort to be more like the people in power, because they think that if they're more like the people in power, if they're on that side of power, that something I don't know, miraculous will happen for them, and suddenly they will have power and money. And the poorest people keep voting to keep the rich people in power. And
Right?
I'm like, I'm like, okay, you've done this. How's that working for you? You got insurance? Can you
Yeah,
fix your teeth?
200
No,
times, right?
no, you still got all those cars that need to be fixed. Yeah, yeah. Got a hole in your roof. No, no health insurance, but keep voting against your best interest because you want so badly to be identified with him and his group. That's a crazy thing to me right there. Like, you are so far away from being identified with them, but you think because you vote for them, he's gonna what, magically recognize you and bring you up into the upper echelons. I don't think that's gonna happen. But so
Hey, I
voting, I
digress.
think
Let me.
voting is important. Informed voting is important. Um, I voted yes for Prop 50. Um,
Good.
because
Okay.
I also feel like Democrats, independents, anybody that's not a Republican needs to fight Republicans in a different way. We are too um how do you fight people who are breaking all the rules by staying here and breaking no rules? Like, we're just gonna get run over and eaten up. I think Props
Yeah,
50 is
and wasn't that Schwarzenegger's argument that why to vote no on 50? I think we need to vote yes on 50 because we have to they're making up new rules. Why shouldn't we play by their rules?
and the key on 50 for me is that it's not a permanent gerrymandering of the lines. It's got a
Right.
5 year. It's got a 5 year end on it, right?
Right.
And then that 5 years should be in California's mind would be long enough to get uh, maybe control over some things back into the Democrats' hands. Which I don't say. Don't get me wrong. The Democrats are not the best people in the history of ever either. I get that. Um, but you got to pick something because somebody got to lead up there. Like in the state, how our country is set up, somebody's got to be up there. So pick the, you
I
know,
I wish Bernie were given the reins to run instead of Hillary. He would have stood up rhetorically to Trump and made him look like a jerk, which he is.
I think
And
hands off. We have to keep taking the gloves off when we go to fight these people. Okay. Um, Kamala was too kind in her stance behind Biden is what I'm saying. Not too kind about her going after Cheeto
oh,
Leary,
good.
but in her stance against, like the times when asked, what would you do different than the president? Yes, she was the vice president at that time and part of his staff, but you can also say your mind. That was her time to say the differences, and she didn't lean into those differences. She led into, no, he's doing a good job, we all stand behind him, and are like, no, that's not what they asked you. That's not what they asked you. Say your mind. And I just think that didn't happen enough. um I think Newsom is getting a good jump on the whole thing with his social media posts. Every day they make me laugh, every day they make me smile. um
Yeah.
I don't think I heard that on the day of our last presidential election, the most Googled question was, who is Kamala Harris? How do you not know
Oh,
who your How do you not know who your vice president is?
Right.
That's why we
even
get to
if
vote the way we
let
vote,
alone
because people
let
don't know.
alone yeah.
Can we talk about weed? I'm so tired of talking about politics.
Hey,
I'm with Melody. Let's
let
get off the fucking subject of the fucking bummer.
well
By the way, you're a buzzkill. Anybody ever tell you that, Ziggy? You're a buzzkill.
I have to respond to the way things are. But
No, I'm with you. I'm with
all
you, brother. But now it's time to
um,
talk about some fun shit.
absolutely. And Paulie and I have been talking for weeks now, months, about coming to your event
Over a
and
year or two.
doing interviews. And we promise to do it this coming month, November, and we will be there come hell or
High
high
water?
water.
Go.
Let's hope we
Yeah,
don't
Yeah,
high
have no
water.
high water. That's a bad thing to say today. No high waters today.
right.
No, wait, hold
So
on. Is there a product called high water?
Possibly. But I
Oh,
was
there
just thinking
should
about the
be,
storm,
right?
so like, let's not do high waters today.
Google it
Hell
in.
or high water. I'm
Google
writing
it
that
in.
down. No,
Yes,
I'm writing it down.
Token is going well. Um, my one of our new bands, is T. Patrick Farmer, and he's got a lot of connections with old school musicians.
Right.
Um, and so we've been able to bring some guest stars, like we had Earl the Pearl, who is Ep.40's dad.
Yeah.
He came and sang for us. Last month we had Fillmore Slim do
Okay.
a guest star spot. Um,
Wow.
so,
Some big names.
so you know these are free concerts
Yeah,
with,
no,
Right.
that's awesome.
with free weed, and so people are just I think like the OGs of our community and our music community and stuff are hearing about it and they're like, oh, that's fun. We want to go do that. And it's crazy to me because nobody gets paid to work my gig. You
Right.
don't get paid. Every band that steps on the stage out of the pure love of their heart for the cannabis community and the senior cannabis community specifically.
Right.
Um, we pay them in tips and in raffle bags of cannabis products that we give to them at the end of the night, but we give no cash. We pay nobody to do anything. And if you're just be gonna be so shocked when you come in to see all the different brands. Like we have two or three cannabis brands that show up, and they don't just show up to show people what they have. Oh, look, we're selling this. You can buy it in there. They're like, here, we're selling this. Take this cone, smoke it. We're not selling it today, but you can buy it in there. Giving out samples, free samples to everybody. Um, and we have companies that set up dab bars, and it's such a great community right now. People are really leaning into to the um to the food, and they're bringing food to share. So we have tables full of food and different snacks, and some are infused, some are not. But it's just been such a marvelous time since we moved to Rooted. The people at Rooted, Daniel, Ricky, Infinity, they are kind, generous, loving souls, and have gifted us the lounge to have this party at. We've been there this over a year at that specific spot, but this year we're celebrating our 8th year running as a senior cannabis group.
Right
Wow.
on. Congratulations. Happy anniversary. Ralph, do me a favor and reset your mic for me. Let's see if this helps a little bit.
How's that?
Nope. Still got the wonkiness. Pull it and see if we can get it again. Hey, there we go.
How's
Look at
that?
that. Look at that. It
There we
is your
go.
microphone.
Alright.
I'm glad I sent you a couple in the mail because it's your microphone. So,
Alright.
and as you know, Melody, when we go to these events, when we go to these cannabis events now, nobody is giving away actual samples. You go to them and they're giving away flyers, or they're giving you coupons, or they're giving you. It's rare that you get anything of really any value. And here you have a homegrown local event that's not even doing what the big boys are doing sometimes, So that's nice that you have these sponsors that come out and support this. And Tokeland Seniors, um, again, happy birthday, kind of, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's amazing. What's the great part about saying 8 years is that this is 8 years that we've been running totally off the kindness of our larger community.
right,
Okay, so we We don't make any money. None of the board members make any money. We don't get paid to do what we do. Nobody gets paid. Um, but but the community has been like, oh, a thing for seniors. Yes, it doesn't matter. Seem to matter who I ask for things, and I'm always asking people for stuff. Like, y'all want to come to the party? Can you bring some stuff to donate? You want to be
Hey,
like I'm always asking. But people, I very rarely have people say no. Like they just want to be a part of it. And then once they get there, the actual way that the community interacts with each other, and you see people on the dance floor with walkers and canes and people chair dancing and just, weed everywhere. Just can't just smoke in the
So
air.
when they say that
man,
sports, when they say sports people are doing it for the right reason, they say they're doing it for a love of the game. You're doing it for the love of the game, but the love of the game when it comes to your game is seniors and people and community and a love of this plant.
Yes, all of those things.
Me-
All of those
Melody,
things.
how do you make first time seniors who are come to a party? They were brought by someone. They're reluctant because their whole life has been the Christian way of telling us that weed is bad for you. And what do you tell them in the first meeting that
No, Ralph,
with
these are not meetings anymore. They used to be like, meetings.
uh,
Where
party?
now it's
Oh,
it's so many people. I do not personally get to greet everybody who comes in that door because sometimes we have over 125 people.
oh wow.
So it's really we leave the larger education to the brands who are there to talk about their flower, to talk about what's good for what. So as people go around the room and they interact with the brand representatives, we trying to leave because it's really hard to stop a party in the middle and talk to people about, even if it's weed, it's hard to get everybody's attention, right?
Gotcha.
The time that I can
I
get
got it.
everybody's attention is when I'm doing the raffle and I'm like, I'm about ready to give out free weed. Y'all hear me? Yeah. Say the magic words and you get people's attention, but they're having such a good time. Um, because you got people that like that grew up like we did, Ralph, where we were smoking weed in the closet or in the bathroom, trying to blow it out the windows, and super hiding it, and afraid of cops, and afraid of our parents, and afraid of getting kicked out of school and fired from our jobs and losing our children. Fear, fear, fear,
Melody,
fear, fear.
I was in the Air Force, living in the barracks, and smoking out of a walk-in closet. And very few people knew about smoke in 1966, 1967. Um, but I had been pleasantly addicted since before I joined in 1965. And didn't let the Air Force stop me, and smoking to this day. Entering in November, I will enter my 80th year on this earth. So thank you, thank you. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Uh,
Good job.
yeah, all I can do is what I can do.
Good job.
Okay,
And
so and you were saying about something about religion, depending on which Bible you read on what it says about pot. Genesis 1:29 says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face
Everything.
of the earth, every tree in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed to you. It shall be for meat." So there you go.
uh,
Yes, yes. I mean, and I mean, we don't like
and
our plants to yield seed, but we also know that sometimes we got to have some seeds to grow the better plant in the end. But yes,
What about
um,
Genesis 9:3? Every moving thing that liveth shall meet for you, even as the green herb I have given you all things.
That's the best one because that literally says green herb, and
Green herb.
that's what we call the
Hello.
weed, the herb, the weed, the herb, the cannabis.
You notice he didn't mention the bammer. He mentioned the good weed.
No mids for God, man. No mids for God.
She, she has
he
been
is he is
standing.
a higher being. He needs to be higher.
No
Yeah.
mids.
For
But
she,
anyways, so I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised when you come to the party, Ralph and Paul. And like I said, I don't get to greet everybody. When I when the when it, at the beginning of the party, you'll be more than likely to get me to be the one handing out your joint when you come in, when there's like 20 or 30 of us. But as the party grows and it gets bigger and bigger and more people show up, that's when I have volunteers. And that's also when I get on the mic and go, look, there's joints at this table, there's joints at that table, dab bar back there. We got the vape going on over here. Hit the circle, go around, get yourself some stuff.
good, good. Nothing but pleasure for you, and you deserve it.
So it's fun. I really enjoy it. We have so many wonderful brands that help us on a regular basis. And I think that we're very lucky because we're not talking about brands that have mids. We're talking about top shelf
Right.
award-winning flower like Sanctuary Farms and Snow Till weed. These weeds are have won multiple awards in California and across the country recently, and they're really solid growers, and I can always count on their weed to get me super high, and they're getting
Hey,
I actually have a couple people in mind that I would like to send to you that have different companies, different cannabis companies. So I want to
hey,
forward them your
Paulie,
way. Yes, I want them to go your way. Yes, yes, yes. And so
I'm gonna do a
I
throwback.
won't call them out. I won't call them out on it now. Not on air. I'll call them out later when they actually come through. So um yes, you were
Hey,
going to say
Paul,
something about there? Go ahead, Ziggy.
I was gonna say in reference to your religious rant, I
Yes,
will
sir.
speak from the Talmud, and I
Okay.
quote, "Get the bank. This shit is good stuff." That's a direct quote from the Talmud, channeled to me, the Zigzag Man. Get the
Yeah.
bang. This is the good shit. Okay.
All
Um,
right.
I
Good.
won't interrupt you again.
Yeah, right. Sure. Well, I don't want to get too religious or spiritual, but it's funny because I think you had mentioned something about the people that are, this and that. Everybody's doing it now. All the kids are doing this stuff.
But strict Christianity doesn't preach that in the basement of their church. Not necessarily
I was
what they
watching
say.
what was I watching? Oh, I was watching the new series on Paramount called Tulsa King, which is Sylvester Stallone. And there was the moonshiners, and so they brought all the moonshine across the state lines. Uh and they said the mobster said, bring it to this location, and they show up at the location, and what is it? It's a church. It's a
Catholic Church.
parish,
Yeah.
and they literally had all the stuff stored underneath, and it's like, oh, we in the right place? And they're like, yeah, you got to the right place. And so
Churches
yeah,
have
no.
been used to move all kinds of things, and from alcohol and weed to people.
To people, and not always in a moral kind of way, folks. I'm telling you now. No, it's a scary
Well,
thing.
their their boxes to collect the money. What's
Oh
the
yeah, 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 like that, like the
collection
collection
boxes?
plate, like the collection
They
plate or the collection box or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they never wear out, and they're never. You can't go to a Sunday service without being made to either feel guilty or proud. And I I think that one can do better with their money than taxing the church and giving it, because they will they will simply not give you in proportion to what you give them over a lifetime. And
If in this
that's
country, if we taxed the billionaires, if we started taxing all the churches, if we started putting stuff like they couldn't have as much property as they do for the kind of stuff they do, boy, we wouldn't have any homeless people in this country. We wouldn't have any people wanting for food. It would just
and a
can't we
special
all just join hands and sing kumbaya? I mean,
Oh,
literally.
you are speaking just crazy talk night right now. Wow, you just talking spewing socialist
Oh,
stuff.
I'm sorry.
Just
I'm one of those radical,
crazy talk.
crazy leftists. Watch out. I'm
now
gonna
let me
go.
give us a
Go ahead.
special fuck you Ronald Reagan
Oh,
moment
jeez.
Yes, we can all do
for
that.
Oh
for
my
putting the
God.
tax among other things, for making the tax rate the way it is, where the millionaires get everything and the middle class has all been eliminated and made
You
poor.
know, yeah,
So
it's
that's my rant.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
No
If
disagreement.
you, and we might as well go for the other thing where the Reagan administration, uh, Reagan, ignored AIDS until it became an incredible epidemic. And I grew up somewhat in the 80s, um, where I partied with people who came from all over. So saw a lot of good friends bite the dust, and that was a Reagan thing. And just say no with the skanky wife. Um,
So many bad things.
yeah,
And
right, right. I won't go on.
it, I
Paulie,
mean,
what?
Well, I was trying to
yeah.
think of a joke, but I'm not really. So you guys said a couple things there. It's kind of like I wanted to say, which this is the kind of I have joke Tourette's. I hear stuff when people talk, and I can't let it go. And so the first thing I wanted to say is, didn't you guys know that I visited Ronald Reagan's grave once? And I felt so inspired. I thought I'd tell him my version of the trickle down theory.
Uh,
I
There
get
you
it.
go. Yeah, good. Okay. I was trying to
I
think of how
get
to
it.
say that and phrase it, but there you go.
I
So,
get it.
yeah.
first, first humor we've had in the podcast, and it has been a terrific podcast.
Oh, there you
So,
go.
given the way things started out before we got on the air, and given Melody's incredible patience, and you are an asset to this show. Uh, Paulie, anything you want to end with?
I want to hope that the TSA dogs come back to work. You heard the TSA dogs have walked out of most of these airports, right? Because they're
Ah,
watching that Christy Gnome video on the TVs. They're like,
Like
fuck
it's a,
this. I'm out of here. I'm not going to watch this dog murderer talking shit about Democrats anymore. So they've all walked out. So please come back, TSA dogs. We need you.
how about
We need
South
someone
Park?
to sniff out my next drug stash.
Have y'all been watching the new South Park?
No.
Oh, you need to
no,
watch
haven't.
the first 5 episodes. of the new season of South Park because they're leaning so hard in on destroying Trump. It is hilarious. You both would love it so much. This season's South Park, the
And
first
so
five.
is is
Um,
one of the first episodes the one when he's in bed with Satan?
yes,
Okay, so I saw that one.
yes.
I
They all
saw
have to
when him
do.
and Satan are bedfellows. I saw that
They
one.
all have to do with that, and they have one about her shooting dogs and animals all over the place. I mean,
Oh my
they
god.
leaned in really hard. We thought they were going to do the whole season, but apparently they got the no on it. Um, so they've given us five really good episodes, and then they changed the subject on episode six. But the first five are on point. I haven't watched South Park for years. Like I just feel like they're not my jam anymore. Um,
Right.
but these first five episodes dealing with our current situation are amazing.
Oh, good. I'll have to go watch because we all need some humor right now, folks,
So I
and
would
you need some
totally suggest.
escapism. And
Yes,
and,
Hey,
and
Robert
it's kind of
joined.
cool because you need the escapism, but you also need to be in the loop. You got to know what the fuck's going on, people.
I try not to do like to lay in the news all day long. Like
Right.
some days I'm like, not today, not today. If anything happens that's so huge that I have to hear, then I won't be able to not hear it.
you'll
Right.
You
hear
know,
it, but
if it's
streams
everywhere, but
pop
some
up.
days just take a break. Just take a break from it because if you try to follow him and his administration and everything that he's doing on a momentarily basis, that's crazy making.
No, that's what I said. It's literally you get whiplash from this news cycle. So I know
So,
you wanted to jump in there, Ralphie. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I'll give the Democratic podcasters a little blame for making the headlines every day. Trump crumbles. Um, bring it. He's demented, and they have shows every day of what's wrong with this guy, and he never dies. It's like, it, I mean, I'm serious. We all, I
we're
think,
watching. We're all watching on a momentarily basis. He's still there.
right? Yeah,
He's still alive.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
He's
does
still
he
there.
still think he's alive? That's another thing.
He's still moving, or is he propped up? I can't tell, but okay.
Yeah. Well, let's throw some orange paint on him just to see.
Yeah, because that makes everything better.
All right,
Yeah.
Melody,
All right.
what you got going in this month? Anything that besides your club
You know
and
what I've been doing, Ralph? I've been searching for a mobility scooter.
ah,
Um, I'm finding going to events and things where I have to walk long distances are becoming problematic for me. Over some things, some physical issues I'm having. Um, but for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been saying no to a lot of things because of that I'd really like to do. And so I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy the scooter and I'm gonna live a life of yes instead of a life of no. So I'm mad ass looking for the best one, and it's harder than shopping for a car. There are more options and more things to think about than I ever thought there would be. But so that's what I'm doing. I'm having a good time scooter
where does
shopping.
one go to shop for scooters?
Well, you start online and then you get people to bring them to you so that you can demo them at your house.
Uh,
And
very
Ralph, can you do me a
smart.
favor? Ralph, reset your mic. Sorry.
All right. How about
Telling
that?
you that I'm telling you it works every time. It's something with
All
your
right.
mic, dude. So that's good. That's
Just
got
let.
us through. So yeah, so I was gonna say, which I literally I just took my mom's. I have two scooters here, but they're older. You want a better one? I'd give you one of these. I was gonna list them on Marketplace for like 150, but I'd
I
just
need,
give
I need,
you
I
one.
need ones that fold, and I need them to come apart so that they can fit in the back of my trunk.
Right.
And they have to come apart so that they're light enough for me to, if I have to do it by myself, that I can lift up the pieces by myself.
Right.
Um,
They have ones that are kind of like scooters that you sit on now that are really
yeah,
nice.
no, that's what I'm looking for. That's
Right.
that's that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's the way to go. They had the ones that you pop the seat off, you fold up the the wheels, and all of a sudden it just goes in your trunk and you pick it up like a bag of groceries.
Yeah, see, this is the one I'm looking at right here.
Oh, look at that! Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Well,
There you
indeed.
go.
So when I went to the state fair a couple years ago, and I spoke on the cannabis panel for seniors at the state fair,
Right.
um, we got there and it was hot. It was hot, of course. Sacramento was hot. It was like 109 degrees or something. I was dying. I was in a lot of pain. I didn't know how I was going to just continue, like to be able to walk from even the front gate over to the building where I had to do my thing. And then the food was way over there. I'm like, oh, this is going to be rough. Um, and so my husband found the scooter rental place because they rent these at the state fair for the day. He's go give him
Oh,
a driver's license, and you can rent one. So he rented me one, and I jumped on that thing, and I had the best time. I was flying everything. I was doing all the recon for everybody. Like people got hungry. I was like, "What do you guys want? We don't know what they have." I'll be right back. Meep, meep, I take off. Wham, running down through the food court. Come back again. Got barbecue over there. The corn dogs are over there. The lemonade is back there. Right. So I would do all the recon because we're all seniors and nobody wants to walk in that heat all over the place just to get to some place that they don't have something that you want.
Right.
You got
right.
And so
right?
doesn't that add to anybody's independence? Even this point,
Oh,
I'm 58, my knees are killing me. I got back problems. Uh
yes.
and
So
it's
I'm
like, "Oh, what
tired
is
of
there to eat? I don't know. Just go to the closest one and grab me something."
Yeah, and I don't want to do that anymore. And I don't want to say
Right.
no to, I can't do that because, no, that's going to be problematic for me. That's going to be painful for me. I don't want to have to live in that pain state.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
tired of saying no to things that I really want to do. So we're going to live in the land of yes.
Yeah,
Hey,
there
and
you
you
go.
could walk the dog on the shore and get that scooter going and give the dog some exercise. Not just you, but
By the dog, you mean what?
if you have a dog. Nah,
My,
uh,
my husband?
Yeah, I
No.
was
no,
waiting for it. I was waiting for my
No.
if
no.
my wife was here, she goes, "I'd go out and walk my husband." Yeah.
Well, I see a lot of scooters on Shoreline Drive, um, scooting along with the puppy.
Oh,
Yes.
So,
I saw
Um,
the most hilarious thing the other day. I was driving down the freeway and I was in Oakland. I was going down 580 or whatever, and there's a guy on a motorcycle going by me, and he has a dog like strapped in like a backpack with a helmet on. He was like, it was
that's
like the
cute.
dog was holding on to him or something. But he was
that's
strapped into
crazy.
like his jacket like a backpack, and he had a helmet, and you could see the dog's face. I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
that's hilarious."
You also told me that you saw one of those automated cars on the
Oh yeah,
freeway
so
yesterday.
I'm used to seeing them in the city, right? I'm used to seeing them in the bay and in the city, and you see Waymos,
Waymo's all the time, man.
you see the Google cars, you now see these like crazy sci-fi looking ones that are called Zooks. But
Yes.
yesterday I was driving from the valley, the Central Valley, to the Bay, and I'm in. I think I wasn't even. It wasn't Castro Valley. It might have been the Dublin Valley. I was in the middle of nowhere, and I come up on this car, and I'm like, "Oh, it kind of looks like an autonomous car because it has the little things on it." And I'm like, "Oh, I've never seen this before. It must be just taking surveys of whatever." And it was called Peaches. And I drove by it. And it was a little car. There was nothing in it, no one in it. And I'm
Hmm.
like, that's just so strange being out in the middle of nowhere with nobody in the car. I mean, there was no passenger. Of course, there wasn't a driver. And I'm like, what the hell? And then Ralph's like, yeah, look at the age we're living in. And I'm like, yeah, I'm surprised it's not a flying car at this point.
I mean, we're almost at George Jetson,
Yeah, we are, right?
Right? I
right?
used
Remember
to.
the Hoover boards that the kids had for a
Right,
while?
right.
I don't know if I haven't seen them out there for a while. I think that something happened, massively died, but um,
Oh,
but
because that keep people were breaking their legs and ankles and getting knocked unconscious and shit. They would get on those little hoverboards and wham, instantly
yeah,
get hurt. There were so many videos of people getting hurt. I think they got sued.
I was like, maybe we're not ready for that yet.
No, it's
We're
like,
not
okay,
ready
so
for
wait,
a
why
lot
are
of.
we going to have flying? Because they're actually showing flying cars in different countries right now, and they're actually doing flying cars. But then if you look at the recent news in the last 6 months about air traffic control, here
Yeah,
we've had airplanes since the Wright brothers, right? We've had flights since the Wright brothers. We kind of had it down, but we still have airline crashes and stuff like that all the time. Now we don't have anybody manning the towers. Why in
they
the hell would we
one
give the general public access to drive in any direction they could? Although I would be constantly, I think Joe Rogan says it. If they had those what are those the you used to see them in the science fiction movies, the packs, the jet
the
packs.
jetpacks.
He goes, he goes, thank God they don't have jetpacks for me. He goes, I'd be constantly getting stoned and going flying. And it's kind of like, yeah, I got you, Joe. I know what you're saying.
a whole a whole new meaning to the phrase "you want to get high."
Want to get high? Want to get high? Yeah. All right. So we're about that time. Melody, please give us the shout outs for Oakland and whoever else, or Tokeland seniors and whoever else you want to do.
All right. Well, we always got to shout out Rooted in the 510, the most fabulous dispensary owned owned by Equity Peoples, and they are lovely enough to give us a spot every month, third Friday in their lounge. Like I tell everybody, when you're done smoking all the free weed I give you, make sure you buy your weed there because they're our home and they give to us, and we want to make sure we give back to them. Um, so third Friday, 4 o'clock, every third Friday, 4 to 8 p.m. Bring some food to share. Other than that, we got you covered for the rest of everything. Just bring some food to share.
Right on. Yeah, and it's always good food there. So, Ralphie. Um,
Hey, I just want to say, wrap up all the lightly used children's books that you have and bring them to the Head Start program wherever you are. And it will make a world of difference giving a child some passion as a result of one of the books that you give them. You'll never find out who that kid is, but the good vibes that go with it are worth a lifetime of giving inane stuff around the holidays.
you know
Give
what?
the
If you
kid,
give a book to a child today, he won't rip down the east wing of the White House tomorrow. Sorry. I'm sorry.
um,
Sorry, I
no,
had to get one more in. Had to get one more in.
We
no,
can hope
no
that's true.
promises.
But
We
you
have
know
to
it's
have,
true, folks.
right?
If that kid had had a book read to him, if somebody had told him they loved him, oh my God! All right, thank you for that. I want to make sure you guys reach out and make sure you follow Zig in the Zone wherever podcasts can be seen and heard. That's right, on the Comfortably Zone Network on YouTube. Ralph Zig
And
Tycho. Go
and
ahead.
get your sarcasm from Paulie B re-
So
regarding nonprofits. That's all
that's
right. It shows through, and in a sense, I don't blame you. But how could this lose? Kids reading.
No,
Seriously.
I know, but it's true though. I know, I mean it. I mean, if you give a kid a book, you actually you're giving them
You
a future. You're
increase
giving
the
them a future.
chances.
You're giving them creativity. You're giving them learning. You're giving them imagination. You're giving them a lot of stuff. And like I said,
And
I want to go back. If somebody, so I'll get my camera on me. I was gonna plug the websites, but hold on, let me get the camera on me so people know who to come and arrest and throw into a third country jail. Um, Literally, I think people say, oh, what would you do if you had a time machine? Would you go back and kill baby Hitler, or in my case, probably baby Yoda? But that's another story. Um, but but when I look at it now, I think I would go back in time and find baby Trump and give that kid some love, because I think that's probably what he lacked growing up. Um, you know,
and have his
I
mother's tube tied while you're at it.
oh my
Just
god, yeah, I would have
uh,
to
I
go
always
back a
think when
little
we
bit
start
further for that one.
talking about changing things, like I never know where that would go. Like people always ask me, like, or that posing the question, not just asking me, but posing the question, like, when you like to start over, would it be great if you could go back to your 20s because we're old now and we ache and everything hurts? And I'd be like, no, okay, because everything that happened between my 20s and now led me to be right here where I am, in the place where I feel really comfortable and I love doing what I do. So a minor change back then might mean I didn't meet the right person, I didn't have the same children, I
Right.
didn't I didn't live the same life, and so I'm not here giving out free weed today.
Right. So no, yeah, you're right. You can't have any regrets, especially if you're in a good place in your life right now, right?
Right? I mean, even the crappy stuff leads you forward to a place where you land. Like apparently it's all important to build character or whatever. Whatever.
No, no, I'm with you. Uh,
hey,
so let me
I
go back
want
to let me go back to saying this really quick so people know. Please go like, subscribe, ring that little bell wherever you can see and hear podcasts. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. There's the addresses. Go ahead, Ziggy. You were going to say something, buddy.
hey, I want to just thank Facebook and the premise of what they do, having groups and what have you. From a moment, this week I posted a picture of me at my bar mitzvah, and that was
Okay.
a long time ago. And on my Facebook page are 6 friends who went to that bar mitzvah.
Okay.
So when you think about it, the idea of being able to communicate years later with people you grew up with, and there's a lot of people out there. I tend to pick the folks whose ideology is much like my own,
Sure.
and I get the privilege of arguing with the 1 or 2 people whom I love, Stan Weiss, whose ideology just sucks. I mean, he was raised in in Queens, and all of a sudden he went to Tennessee. He won the World Series of Poker along the way, but as an example, I speak. I don't argue with many people. He's one of those that I discuss things with, because quite frankly, the Republican right wing way of seeing things really sucks. And I just want to call all the people out on that. And what you're doing by withholding, to me personally, withholding the opening of the government you will be taking away my food stamp benefits. Now, I'm retired. I'm not complaining because I have alternatives that I can do. But what the fuck? What the fuck? So, just want
Oh,
to
I
ask,
know. He's taking food out of families' mouths, and I get
and
it. So
he's giving it to dictators. Um, I don't know if Argentina is considered a dictatorship, but I do know it was the most popular refuge for former Nazis on earth, except those who got into the United States. But I don't want to go back in time, but these are not the best of times, but they're the only time I've ever known. Love everybody out there. Love you, Paulie, and thank you so much. I hope you got everything out that you wanted to say. Melody Montgomery, you are a terrific guest.
yeah,
Thank
yeah. I think.
you.
Thank you for joining us, Melody. We really appreciate you.
Thank you for always inviting me and wanting to hear my words.
I do want to over and over again, so stay well.
All right. See you guys on the third Friday, yeah?
Yes, we will do it.
Absolutely. We
All
will
right, you
do it.
guys. And I'm gonna do what I do. We're gonna run a couple spots so we can pay the bills like we do. Um, as Zig would say, we are all lawyered up, and here we go. We'll be back, and we'll see you guys next week in the zone. So listen to our sponsors. Make sure you patronize them, reach out to them. But until then, next week in the zone. Bye, guys. Whether it's criminal defense, estate planning, or civil litigation, the answer is the law offices of Andrew Doja. Call us today at 510-865-1600 or find us on the web at dojalaw.com.
For tenant and landlord disputes, there's no other than the law office of Jeff Canberra. Call now 1-510-865-7369 and don't forget to tell them Zig sent you.